Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. We have a lot to talk about on tonight's show. Nature in the News is back this week. We'll have a story on the sun finally rising in a part of the world where you might not expect it to. Also coming up tonight, we'll have another story on the unfortunate series of avalanches occurring here in the United States. Mike Susko is here to take a look at the weekend forecast in addition to the chill moving in for the beginning of next week. And Jenna has a story recapping the snowstorm from last weekend. Whether or Not starts right now. Hello and welcome to Whether or Not. I'm your host, Matt Hoenig.
And I'm Mike Susko, your forecaster.
So Mike, it's been a very wintry feel here in central Pennsylvania over the past week. We started off the week with sub-zero temperatures for a time Monday morning, and then we had some freezing rain and other mixed precipitation Wednesday into Thursday. Please tell me there's going to be an end to this sometime soon.
Well, unfortunately, Matt, I hate to break the news to you, but it looks like this weekend we're still going to have to hang on to those gloves and hats and maybe even stock up on the hot chocolate because Mother Nature's not done with us just yet with the cold.
Oh, that's too bad. It is the middle of January, so I should be
That's
expecting
true.
this.
Yes.
Well, first, let's take a look at Nature in the News. Well, I'm sure many of us, myself included, have been complaining about the bitter cold temperatures this week. At least we've had some sunshine. And the same can finally be said for Barrow, Alaska. On Wednesday, the sun rose for the first time in 66 days. Yes, that's just over 2 months. Unfortunately, the sun was so low in the sky that residents needed to be on an elevated surface in order to see it. If anything, you could really only see a glow in the distant sky. Of course, Barrow, Alaska is located near the North Pole, and daylight between the seasons gets more extreme towards the poles. While winter can be dark, dismal, and downright depressing, by the middle of May, the sun won't set until early August.
This past Sunday, people all across the western half of the globe got the opportunity to witness a blood moon lunar eclipse. Social media flooded with the pictures and videos of the event as skies across Pennsylvania were only about 50% covered during the time of totality. Some revealed a white, bright pixel illuminating from the moon's surface. Turns out, a meteor struck the moon during totality, offering those with strong enough cameras and telescopes perhaps a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Totality occurs when the moon passes through the Earth's umbra, or shadow. The next total lunar eclipse will occur in the year 2021.
A sad story to report this evening. 2 people have died from injuries sustained in an avalanche last week at a northern New Mexico ski resort, according to a story published by the Associated Press. A 26-year-old man from Massachusetts was pronounced dead shortly after the avalanche. Another 22-year-old man from Colorado was transported to a nearby hospital to treat his injuries, but tragically passed away on Monday. The avalanche struck a stretch of expert skiing terrain on the upper mountain known as the K3 Chute. The resort planned an investigation to determine what triggered the avalanche, despite a series of precautions that were taken earlier that day.
Niagara Falls has frozen over, creating a magical scene of the world-famous waterfall. An Arctic air mass passed over the region over the past couple of days, helping to freeze the water. It is not uncommon for areas around Niagara Falls to freeze over in the winter, as temperatures average in the area around 31 degrees in January. However, an extended period of really cold air is required for the waterfall itself to freeze. Well, we had a chilly start to the week and even some wintry precipitation on Wednesday into Thursday. Looks like Friday, though, will be a bit of a drier day, but it will be chillier, and here's why. We'll have northwesterly winds coming from Canada over the Great Lakes and mostly cloudy skies for the day on Friday for most of Pennsylvania. But we will be dealing with colder air with temperatures 15 to 20 below average in many of those locations. On Saturday, will be chilly once again and brutal with that. The wind chills could even be down near 0 degrees in some spots during the morning, but it'll be mostly sunny during most of the day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will see some snow showers possible, especially here in the western parts of the state. But the main part of this precipitation will remain over Ohio, Indiana, and the southern parts of Michigan, but we can't rule out a stray snow shower here in Center County. So weekend forecast looks like this. For Friday, it'll be brutally chilly with 23 degrees and wind chills could be down in the single digits, even around 0 in the afternoon. So make sure you bundle up if you have to go out. Even take some hot chocolate with you, folks. You want to stay warm all day on Friday, but will be mostly cloudy during the morning and afternoon. Friday night, mostly cloudy again, and your air temperature will be 5 degrees. We should be around 20 for our low, so that's 15 below average for the low temperature. So Friday night will be chilly as well. And once you factor in those winds, again, those wind chills will be well below 0. So make sure you bundle up. And then Saturday, 18 for our high, more sun than clouds. But once again, it will be chilly. So you need to make sure that you have your hats, gloves, and some type of hot beverage. I suggest hot chocolate because coffee, you don't want to get too much of that. And then on Sunday, possible snow showers, as I mentioned. We'll have a high of 27 degrees. If we get any accumulation, it'll be on the light side, though. Nothing like we had last weekend. And speaking of snowstorm from last weekend, our own Jordyn Jenna has a feature featuring Bill Syrett from the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science.
Last weekend's storm left the State College area with some bitterly cold and wintry conditions. Although these conditions still lingered in the State College area, the storm itself was not as hazardous as expected. Many meteorologists had forecasted snow totals in the double digits for the State College area. Governor Tom Wolf even issued a state of emergency for Pennsylvania as a result of the expected conditions. The snowy conditions resulted in many businesses along College Avenue shutting down for Saturday evening, along with churches canceling Sunday morning.
And then it's kind of an inland runner, nor'easter type storm, 7 inches of snow here in State College. Not bad, not great. Kind of fun.
The storm formation started off the coast of California and moved across the country, reaching our area last Saturday. I sat down with meteorologist Bill Syrett, a Penn State meteorology professor, and the manager of Joel Myers Weather Center to ask him some general questions that explain the formation and the conditions of this less than exciting snowstorm event.
We picked up some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic, and there was a large temperature gradient in the eastern U.S., which feeds this is why we have storms, essentially, to destroy those temperature gradients. So we had, pretty good set of ingredients come together to make a decent storm.
During this wintry event, we experienced several different forms of precipitation, which included snow, sleet, freezing rain, and even just rain for a short period of time. As the track of the storm moved across the central part of the United States, it picked up some extra moisture and warm air, which resulted in State College area experiencing sleet and freezing rain rather than complete snowfall. Oftentimes, people use sleet and freezing rain interchangeably, but they are two different types of precipitation that we experienced during the storm. When comparing the two, freezing rain is more hazardous because it creates a sheet of ice on the ground. You may be asking, so how exactly does this different type of precipitation form in the atmosphere? Snowflakes that fall through a wedge of warmer air then passing through freezing air located just above the surface is known as sleet. On the other hand, freezing rain occurs when the warm air aloft is a much thicker layer, causing the falling snowflake to melt more and allowing it to reach the surface as freezing rain. Although snowfall did not pique the interest of most meteorologists, what came after most certainly did.
But behind the storm, really pretty unusual chill. I mean, we got down to 1 below 0 this morning, and on campus, that's a pretty rare event.
Not only was the temperature in State College incredibly cold, winds were also quite bone-chilling for those that took the opportunity to walk outside Sunday into Monday. So where does this snowstorm leave us now? Historically speaking, February and March are great months to experience some more snow conditions. For those of you that enjoy spending time in the winter weather, there is still hope of being able to play in the snow at least one more time. For Weather or Not, I'm Jordyn Jenna.
Well, this evening's extended forecast takes us to the end of January into the first few days of February. But first, let's start off with the weekend recap. Looks like this for Friday. Mostly cloudy skies, high of 23, but that's before you factor in the wind chills. They could be in the single digits, so you're going to need those hats and gloves for Friday. And then Friday night, a low of 5. And again, before you factor in the wind. So make sure you bundle up, and I would even suggest having some type of hot drink with you Friday night, and especially on Saturday. The high on Saturday is only 18 degrees. We will have the sun, but that's still pretty cold. We're talking 25 below average on the day Saturday. And then Sunday, we warm up a little bit, but we do still have a chance for some snow showers in the afternoon on Sunday, high of 27 degrees. The extended forecast for the last week of January looks like this. Monday and Tuesday, we will actually be above average a little bit, near 40 degrees, but then a storm system on Tuesday will change all that, because on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, timber is the only way to describe it. We'll have lots of sunshine around, but those temperatures, man, oh man, they're going to drop. And they're going to drop hard, as you can see here. We're going to see highs only around 10 degrees through the end of next week. So we'll end January on a cold note and begin February, the second month of the year, with below averages as well.
So Mike, unfortunately for us summer weather lovers, still stuck in a bit of a freeze for this weekend. I know it's still January, so I really shouldn't be complaining, but not looking great into next week either. No,
unfortunately, we are watching another storm system possibly into next week, so winter has not finished up yet.
Yeah, certainly not. And our weather whiz quiz question this evening relates to some unfortunate cold weather in Pennsylvania over the past couple of days. Which of the following years did State College observe 7 consecutive days of sub-zero minimum temperatures? Mike, thankfully we were not dealing with that this past week. Was that A, 1918, B, 1977, C, 1996, or D, 2015? If you guessed A, 1918, you are tonight's lucky winner. Over 100 years ago, to kick off 1918, State College had a long, cold stretch with low temperatures at the beginning of January in the negative single digits for 7 consecutive mornings. The second longest streak of sub-zero low temperatures in State College occurred 3 different times, each lasting for 5 days.
Just this past week, temperatures dropped down to -1 here in State College, both on Monday and Tuesday mornings. A sudden drop in temperatures on Sunday led to a flash freeze in some parts of the state, creating slick conditions on the roadways and sidewalks throughout the day on Monday, Matt.
Mike, let's hope that doesn't happen anytime soon again. Yeah. It was cold enough. I had to wear multiple layers coming here to the Walker Building at Penn State to, record videos like this, and it was not a fun time.
Yeah, you and me both had to wear, the normal clothing, and then you had to wear a sweatshirt, a heavy jacket, and it was just not a fun time putting all those layers on this past week.
Hopefully a bit of a reprieve coming up in the extended outlook, maybe to begin February. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight's Whether or Not. I am your host, Matt Hoenig.
And I'm your forecaster, Mike Susko.
Have a great night, everyone.